Hey, hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel, The Sarthak Show, where we discuss about tech, career, product, and life. And today we have a very special guest with us, 𝐏𝐚𝐲. She is a content writer, and today we will learn about all about her story, her journey, what she did, how she did it. And if you are interested in something like content, she is also a LinkedIn top voice, so we will understand how that journey happened and a lot of different questions that will be covered in this podcast. So stay tuned till the end of this video to learn more about her journey, and that's why we will move to act to her. Thank you so much, 𝐏𝐚𝐲, for joining in for this podcast. Really glad to have you here, and would love to know more about you. Can you shed some light on your professional background?
Yeah. So thank you for having me. Firstly, I don't identify as a content writer. I'm just like a writer and a creative entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
I think this content writer is this upcoming designation. I'm not a full-time content writer. So yeah. So my journey, I am 26 right now. I did my undergrad I majored in economic psychology and sociology, and then I straight away went for my postgrad and I studied human resources. And then I started working with Zomato for a year, and then about a year and a half with Genpact. I was a recruiter in the first company, and in the second one, I was into HR transformation. However, the pandemic hit, and I think all of us had like a lot of time to ourselves. So I started reading a lot, and I went through a lot of self-reflection, and also like I was a kind of an Instagram influencer that time, and my phone died. So I just deleted my account. And today I'm so glad I did, because that's where everything began. Because not handling so much content just gave me a lot of time to myself. And then I realized I need to do something new and something very different, because I'm not aligned to my true values as a person. So I about side hustle for 10 months, which essentially means writing a blog on Medium and doing some freelance projects, because I mean, it sounds flowery to quit your passion, quit your job for passion, but like the reality is that we all have bills to pay. So I wanted to make some money before I quit. And then 10 months later, I quit my job. And yeah, so what I do right now is that I write full time. I conduct a cohort based course 4 times a year, and I have digital products. So that kind of labels me as a creative entrepreneur. And I do a bit of freelance copywriting.
Okay. And awesome.
Yeah.
I think it's a wonderful journey, and I think a bit of a roller coaster ride in itself. Uh, trying out different things, learning different things, exploring, and a lot of learning that I see. And I think, as you mentioned, it's like the best way to describe is creative entrepreneur. Like in a way, what you have tried and what you have doing right now. I think we would love to know everything about all these things in deep. So starting with the first part, like how did you start with the content part or the creator part in itself? How do you move into this domain? What made you tickle, and like what was more relatable, fascinating about this domain?
It wasn't a plan to become a content writer, because I love writing. And that's the reason I freelance very less, because I feel when somebody else is telling me what to write about, my creativity gets blocked and I don't enjoy writing.
Mhm.
And I don't want to get to a point where I don't enjoy it. So the intention is like, how do I stabilize multiple sources of income? So I only write when I feel like writing. So the interest came because like I've been writing since I was 7. So there I was always a writer, but I just randomly started writing on LinkedIn. I wrote very little on LinkedIn during my job, in fact, but I just randomly wrote blogs on Medium, and I just enjoyed it and people liked it. So I thought, okay, this is good. I think I'm a decent writer. And then I picked up freelancing jobs via Upwork, and I saw that, okay, like clients like my work as well.
Mhm.
So all of these positives like gave me a heads up. That being said, that doesn't mean there were not like multiple failures, not a single failure, because Medium is a place where we submit in publications, and I always wanted to be in top publications, which means that literally if I'm writing 3 times a week, that means 3 mornings a week I wake up to rejection emails, and this happened for months and months and months. So there's also that side to it.
Yeah.
But how did I know? Like I was just having fun doing it. That's how I knew.
I think that's the best answer. If you are having fun, then you should do it. That's the best way.
Yeah.
Like look out for that. Since you have quit the job, you are moving in that direction. So why not do it for happiness? We do it for fun, right?
Hmm.
But yeah, I think uh, it's more than what it meets to eye, and then that's what I want to highlight more for the audience. Like it look good on the outside how things happen and what you are today, but want to know exactly what kind of different hurdles that came to your, like how things worked out today, and in general, what kind of, let's say, as you mentioned, there are rejections mails, then you have to find right clients on the Upwork. How do you negotiate, and what kind of scenario? So how was
Right.
that journey like?
Now, these are multiple questions, so I don't know which one to start with.
No, I think I mixed a lot of questions, but yeah, let's start with like, how was your first freelance experience looked like, and
Right.
yeah.
It was really nice because before I just didn't hop on to Upwork blindly. I did my research. I spoke to people. Like one of my friends in the UK, he'd made about like $10,000 in a few months. So I asked him how he, how he did it. He directed me towards YouTube videos from this guy who is like a top Upwork freelancer and he's made about like 3 million at that time.
Oh my God.
So runs a YouTube channel. So then I studied like, what is this guy doing? How does his proposal look like? I
Hmm.
did all of that, and like my first client was great.
Okay.
And then he only became like my stable client until the part where he ghosted me, and like that was a very big setback because the thing is like he and I had a really good contract. He was paying me 3 times my corporate salary for only 10 hours of work every week. So
Hmm.
it was amazing. But when I quit my job and I was in my notice period, that's when like he just ghosted me out of nowhere.
Hmm.
So that's what made me like question if I'm doing the right thing. So it was like a really it was a really bad downer.
Hmm.
But so yeah, that's how Upwork was. That's like addressing your question. It
Hmm.
was great.
Yeah, I think makes sense. And then you mentioned a very critical part that while you are taking decisions, there are times that you are faced by a really hard blow, and like how to face them, how to come out of your the lowest point. Because once you start questioning some of the decisions that you take, then you have to like sensing, like once you start moving in the direction, and then take some decision, take some calls. I think uh, you are at your lowest point, and then you have to fight back and come to a stable position. And then that is the story that I would want to focus on, like how do you go from one client to 10 clients, or what did it
Right.
actually happen in that scenarios?
So, first of all, like as a self-employed person, like now that I make a living out of it, it's like just be prepared that every month there's multiple failures. It's not that one big thing happens, but multiple really annoying things happen.
Correct.
And yeah, and that's just a part of it. I think now, like there was a time when I was talking to someone for like 3 months and we were supposed to start working together, and the money that they proposed to me didn't work out. So I said, like just because I'm from India doesn't mean I'm gonna charge this much, and you have to charge me a fair price.
Mm-hmm.
And they just like didn't speak to me. And the thing is, like we were friends for a while, like we were like writing colleagues. And then I just like kept crying because I thought, after my job, like this is one of the clients that I will have. So I was, trying to attain a sense of stability when I quit, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm not starting from the scratch. But both the people didn't work out. So ultimately, by the time I quit, I was in the deep end. There was no client, nothing. Um, and I actually forgot like did I get my first client or what happened. But yeah, if I don't remember, that means it was nothing so bad. I probably figured it out. But how to like come across setbacks is that I think you just have to make peace with the fact that it's going to happen, and it's going to happen literally every single week.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's writing on Medium and getting rejected. Lately, my setbacks have been very different. It hasn't been rejections. It's been more like getting a lot of negativity on LinkedIn because I've grown. And honestly, I think I was much more calm at 30,000 followers than I am at 50. Like it just goes crazy after that for some reason.
Right.
And another, I think my biggest failure was that I launched everything in 2022. And what I didn't realize was that I was pushing my boundaries. And like, Sarthak, you and I spoke last 3 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
So this podcast should have happened that time,
Mm-hmm.
but then it didn't because I absolutely sucked at owning my time. And it's not that I'm overworking. I'm still working 4 hours a day, which is like what my goal was when I was working in a 9 to 5, that I'm going to work 4 hours and not more than that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's still happening, but I just like took on so much work on myself which could have been easily delegated. But it's just that the typical Indian mentality is that no, why spend money if you can do it yourself, which is
Right.
absolutely screwed up because you should put yourself first and like
Right.
your personal life. So yeah, that was, I think, even like the client leaving me and all of that wasn't as bad as like what I only did a self-sabotage. I think that was the worst thing.
I think what you mentioned, that is so true, that once you get that sense of introspection and that you realize that what you could have done better at that chance sense, and what is that the priority, the health was a priority or my time was priority or different things, and you take on right decisions. I think that is a fair learning, and I think for the audience to listen very carefully over here, that the setbacks might come in different forms and shapes at every moment of your life. You cannot be chances that it's all good happening every time. And then how do you take a wider stance, take a stronger stance on that, and take a right positive action is what matters. And what you just said, that there were different kind of challenges. Like it looked good that you grown from 30,000 50,000 followers, but you are the only person that know what are the cons of that, or maybe what are the setbacks in
Right.
that are coming to you. Yeah, exactly.
And also, the internet world can be really cruel. I mean, I was listening to this podcast by Sahil Bloom. He's really big on Twitter with like over 200K followers. And this was with Ali Abdal, who's a very big YouTuber with over 3 million followers.
Mm-hmm.
And they were talking, and Sahil just had a newborn baby. He put a picture and then he wrote something about parenting. And people can be so cruel. Somebody actually commented that, I hope you guys die in a fire. So when people say that, oh, like this person just puts reels for a living, or he's just YouTubing, or they're just like, writing content, it's damn hard. Like imagine people just blurting out things about you and your family because they're upset with their life.
Correct.
So it's easy for me to say that, okay, that talks more about them. But
Mm-hmm.
like if you're as sensitive as me, even if it's an anonymous person, like it hurts for a few seconds. Like, it's just a mean thing. So yeah, a lot of shit happens. So
Yeah, no, I agree, because at the end of the day, you are human and you have feelings. So,
exactly.
and people find this like a very comforting space. You can go out and like release your frustrations and toxicity, as it's not going to matter a lot. And that's I think what people have found their safe haven in the comments place. They can go out and blurt out whatever they feel about, and
Right.
without um, taking time to think about it, what they are writing, what it means, and is it making sense or not?
Yeah.
Is it even uh, or like what kind of language are they using, or in that way? So I think,
Right.
but in a way, I think with time you also learn how to handle those kinds of scenarios. You
For
also
sure.
become strong, um, and all that hate coming in gives you a good reality of how world works. Like
Yeah. People say if you're getting hate, you're doing something good.
yeah, exactly. So I, I think that's your first sign, right? There is a green flag that you're doing good.
I hope so.
No, definitely. I think that was one of the reasons that I reached out to you, because at least I'm not sure like what other people face, but I found your content good. I really liked it, and then I thought that uh, people should know about it. People should know what is happening and what's the difference between good content. They should understand what are the different things they can explore in life, and yeah, that's how we are.
Thank you.
But I think that could be one of the reasons why you are also one of the LinkedIn top voices.